Life experiences shape who we are, teaching us lessons that no book ever could. Every challenge, success, failure, and unexpected moment adds to our personal growth. The tough times build resilience, while the joyful moments remind us why we keep going. Whether it's traveling to new places, meeting different people, or simply navigating struggles.
There ain't no grave can hold my body down. There ain't no grave can hold my body down.
Many people have their experiences. Welcome to mine.
Hear that trumpet sound, I'm gonna rise right out of the ground. Ain't no grave can hold my body down. Well, look way down the river. What do you think
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Davistar experience. I am your host, Davistar, and this evening, it's a situation that has become rather concerning over the past 48 hours. Um, one of the things in this country that is one of the best things is that we have the freedom to think, or at least I think we do. We have the freedom to form our own opinion, and we have the freedom to express our opinion. In this country, at least on paper, we are supposed to be able to have the freedom to think and move freely and have an informed opinion about certain events. Big, small, anything that may be something that is important in our lives, we have the ability to think and make informed decisions on those opinions. For instance, there was a recent incident in Washington, D.C., where a passenger plane was struck by a Black Hawk helicopter. Now, anyone that knows aviation knows that this is fishy as all hell. But that's not why I'm here tonight. this is kind of impromptu. I'm here tonight because, on top of there being a crisis of untold proportions, on top of there being an incident that's going to require a rather detailed explanation from all parties involved, American Airlines, uh, the U.S. Army, air traffic control, DC, DCA Tower, approach controllers, things that people of that nature. There's going to be a lot of explanations that are going to need to be had, and a lot of very uncomfortable discussions among very high-ranking people in the aviation industry as to why there was a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter anywhere near this passenger plane, right? But that's not the scary part about it. As everyone knows, there's been a lot of focus and attention on these DEI hires and termination of positions. For the record, I'm a NASCAR fan, so when you say the letters DEI, that makes me think of one person. That makes me think of an organization called Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Dale Earnhardt being one of the, if not the greatest race car driver that ever walked the face of this earth. Anyway, one of the things that is bothersome about the situation, the sad part is that there were 67 people who lost their lives in this tragic incident between the flight manifest and the crew of the Bombardier CRJ 700, which is the aircraft that was struck, and the Black Hawk helicopter with their 3 crew members on board, which was the unfortunate vehicle that crashed into the CRJ in midair. The sad part about this situation is not just the fact that there were lives lost, many lives lost, dozens of lives lost. The traumatization of the families who were at the airport waiting for this plane to come in. The traumatization of the air traffic control tower who had to witness this and literally saw it in real time. But in light of these events, the president of the United States decided that not only was he going to start spewing rhetoric on his Truth Social platform regarding this incident without having facts, this person, this man, the president of the United States, your president, decided that the best course of action for him to take would be to make this incident about the lack of transparency with the hiring of the people that are in charge of our skies. He made this about DEI hires, which I thought was rather, for lack of a better term, disgusting. You're making this about a DEI hire when you have people who are still have yet to be recovered. Apparently, from the last press conference I witnessed, that there were upwards of 30 people that were recovered, which means they got another 30 plus people, 37 people that they still have to pull out of the aircraft and recover from the water. Unfortunately, the longer this drags on, the harder it's going to be for the recovery efforts, because now they're going to have to bring in specialty equipment to recover the fuselage. But the worst thing that about this incident is the president really actually got up on his Truth Social platform. He went on Twitter and went on these different platforms and actually tried to blame this on a DEI hire. Now, granted, they did say that apparently one controller was doing the job too. Okay, I mean, who hasn't been on a job where you've had to cover for your coworker or you've had to do something for a coworker because they can't do it at the moment, so you have to cover for them, if only for a few minutes. Maybe you're a nurse and you got to cover an entire wing because your other coworker is in the HR office or getting medications or something, something where you have to do the job of more than one person. Hell, I do it on a nightly basis. I have to, help coworkers when they can't physically do something or they're not able to do it at the time because they're busy. Just like people have to help me when I'm at work. But you blame the deaths of 67 some odd people on a policy that you chose to get rid of, and you make that your platform, you make that your soapbox for the justification of the eradication of said program. I have never, ever even, I can't recall this ever being something that has ever happened before, where a national tragedy is blamed on diversity, equity, and inclusion. I, I don't think that's really a good time to spout your. You know what's crazy about this whole situation? When you think about it, think about this for a minute. The president of the United States basically just used DEI as a platform for him to get rid of it. I just don't understand how that's even possible. Like, if you're going to do that, I think that would be a conversation for a time well long after this. Furthermore, if I'm not mistaken, help me if I'm wrong here, but isn't the president kind of in violation of some of the things that the National Transportation Safety Board was hoping to avoid? Didn't the NTSB basically said they would not be making any judgments, or what's the word I'm looking for, or any assumptions while they're on scene? They're not going to make any determinations as to causes or anything like that while they're there. President Trump pretty much jumped out the window and said, "Oh yeah, the helicopter was 200 feet above the." Hold on, whoa, whoa. Okay, change of plans. So I'm literally looking at this on TV as we're talking about the plane crash there. I'm looking at a plane crash in my neighborhood, in Philadelphia. There's another plane crash, a small plane crashed in Northeast Philadelphia. I'm looking at the breaking news right now. This is nuts. See, this is crazy. I'm looking at the scenes, and it's so in Northeast. So apparently, where I'm looking at it here, there's a small airport not too far from Northeast Philly. There's Philadelphia's main airport, and then there's another smaller airport in Northeast Philly. So there's another plane crash. This time in my city. Get the hell out of here. Whoa. Yeah, Timoni, you ain't gonna believe this. There is a plane crash in Philadelphia, and I'm looking at it. It just happened within the last few minutes. Oh God, this is gonna be all over everywhere. This is gonna be on the scanners. Hold on, y'all. I gotta see. I gotta go on my scanner. My scanner's probably losing its mind right now. Hold on, I'm looking at this now. Hang on. Wow. So, airplane, they just showed the video of an airplane coming straight out of the sky and then just slamming into the ground. I don't know who was on that. I'm literally watching this now as we speak. Somebody is whoa. So according to from what I'm looking at here on the video camera on TV, it looked like this plane just had no control and just plummeted into the ground, nose first. Wow. Yeah, if you go on YouTube, just type in Fox 29 and you'll see all of our news agencies are live right now because we got Fox 29, you got NBC 10, you got CBS 3, you got ABC 6, PHL 17. All these different agencies are now scrambling to North Philadelphia to go check out this report of a plane crash. This is I don't think we've ever really experienced this ever in life. But okay, ladies and gentlemen, this just, I'm pretty sure if you go on TikTok, it's probably going to be everywhere. So I'm going to wrap this up now. I should be sleeping, supposed to be getting ready for work, but I don't see that happening now. Yeah, they closed off everything. There's a chunk of fire in the middle of the street. So I'm trying to figure out where exactly this is. So like I said, there's an airport. You have the main airport, which is in South Philly, and then you have another airport in Northeast Philly. It's a smaller airport. It's mainly for like Cessnas and Pipers and whatnot, like single prop engine aircraft. So first of all, I don't know who would be flying in this because the weather conditions aren't that great. So I don't know who in the world would be flying out here in this, but somebody was, and their airplane just nosedived into the ground. This is nuts. I I did not intend for this to happen. This is not what I thought would happen today. Woo! Small airplane crashed in Northeast Philadelphia. Big fireball. Yo, I'm gonna get to work. This is so where this airplane crashed at is like out of the way from where I live. So I mean, it's nowhere near where I live. It's nowhere near where I work. But still, depending on where in Northeast Philly, I don't know where that is gonna be at. As a matter of fact, I need to check on my folks because I got some folks out in Northeast Philadelphia. But I don't. There's multiple parts of Northeast Philadelphia. Northeast Philadelphia is pretty big. But like I said, I believe there's an airport where this airplane crashed at. I appreciate people coming on here and checking out the live. Um, I'm gonna be doing more of these YouTube lives. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. This is I was sitting here talking about this thing with this plane crash in DC, and just so happened something told me to check YouTube before I logged off, and I just seen breaking news: plane crash in North Philadelphia. I'm like, what? I go on here, and here we go. I'm gonna keep everybody abreast as to what's going on. I'm gonna go on TikTok and post a really quick video, and then I'm gonna try to come up with details because I'm pretty sure there's going to be press conferences. I'm pretty sure the mayor is going to be on our way out there. NTSB is probably going to be dispatched again. So they're going to have to split their team that they have in Washington, and they're going to have to send some people here on a small plane to come investigate this situation here. All the scanners are going to be lit. Philadelphia Fire is going to be crazy busy tonight. So Yeah, I'm in for a long night. I'm gonna be watching this all night long at work. So, guys, thank y'all for checking out this unplanned stream. Yeah, where this is at, this is in Northeast Philadelphia. This is up in Northeast. So you have the Northeast and then you have the Northeast. This is more like the Northeast in Philadelphia. So